With Season 4 dropping, we did get a couple patch notes, and most of it is bug fixes and a couple things that they just tried to tune up. And of course, there were bugs that they didn't fix that they need to fix and still haven't, so we'll talk about that. But for the most part, we're just going to go over each character that they have fixed. And there are some crazy ones here that I'm happy that they added, and maybe some like questionable ones, but let's just go over them real fast. All right, for Todo, they again, in a way, nerfed his Gamma. I think it's more of just a balance change. They increased the reload speed time on his Gamma, I believe, for all levels, because they're not specifying it, so I believe it's just for all levels. But they decreased the frozen time that they would be in it. So when you freeze someone, it's gonna be a lot less, and it's good because, you know, before you could just beam down people while in this state, so it's very, very good that this is fixed. I don't know if you can still do it. It looks like you can only get like 2 gammas off, or 2 alphas off, if that. So that's really good. That's a really good balance. I'm happy they didn't like kill him, because that's like his main thing, right? So even though they increased the reload time, or if they didn't increase the reload time, Todoroki would probably be pretty bad. I mean, you can still do a lot of damage, but that's a huge... You can really tell they're not frozen anymore for that long. Alright, for Kaminari, I believe they use the word numbness as in just stun, so stun time. So they reduce the stun duration for how long you're stunned right here. So before it was, I think, a lot longer than that. It's still a good amount of time that you can get beamed down and like killed. So I mean, I could still do like, you know, the beta after and do crazy damage. So that's fine. But I believe this is what they're saying. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're using the word numbness, which is weird. They should just use the word stun duration or something. But they reduce the time that you will be stunned in that. And I believe with these connected, if you get stunned by this, it also they increase the time that you would actually get stunned with this. So if you do happen to fall into this, you will get stunned for longer than it did before. I don't know what it was before. I never really paid attention. Also, correct me, I could be wrong. I don't know if that's what they're talking about, but I believe it is. Next up is Kirishima, and I apologize for my lack of knowledge. I don't like the vocabulary they use. I have no idea what this means, but I'll read it to you. This is about his special action. It is changed so that the effect will end if you take a damage reaction while it is active. And I thought maybe it was just like damage in general, but obviously that wouldn't make sense, right? That would defeat the whole purpose. Then I thought it was maybe a stun, and so I got this Kaminari here, and I'll get him to use his Gamma, and it doesn't look like it is what it is, so he's gonna have to do it one more time. My special action's still going, so I really have no idea what this take a damage reaction is. I wish I could tell you. Please comments if you know what this means. Please let everyone know, because for me, I have no idea. It's still going no matter what, so I don't get it. It feels the same. So Momo got buffed once again. It's actually pretty crazy. This is gonna be insane for an RNG, but you can use her special action right at the beginning of the game, which is pretty good. It's just some loot that you can pop up right away. They also reduced the chances of a team skill. So they call it a team enhancement kit. It's what we call the skillet, or just like I call it skillet. It's basically what you get from Coda, what you get from the box, where it levels up everyone's abilities by 1, right? So the team enhancement kit is what it's called. But you can get that from her lucky bag, which I had no idea. I didn't think you could get that. They also changed it, so depending on the team situation, maybe if you have both players dead, maybe you have one player dead, a revive card is more likely to be ejected. Or maybe if you just have one person dead right away, it's gonna be rejected. Because they don't say low probability or probability, they say change so that depending on the team situation, item bag or revive card is ejected. So I guess maybe you'll just have a better time doing that. That would obviously make her special action a lot more useful, because I go through Momo games not using it at all, just because I forget I have it. So she's still very powerful. They didn't touch her Gamma, which is insane to me. I think the Gamma is still very, very overtuned, but that's just my personal opinion, so yeah. Alright, so they nerfed Aizawa, which is pretty understandable because he has been a crazy, crazy good character in Season 3. I mean, personally, I think one of the best teams is Bakugo, Deku, Aizawa. I mean, it's pretty just, it's so tough to try and fight that team. But what they did is they reduced the shockwave damage from flying kicks. So this little shockwave that you see right here at level 9, it only does 38 damage now, which is pretty bad. Personally, for me, I feel like I'm actually glitched right now. This doesn't feel like a level 9 alpha, but let's see real fast. Um, 24. No, okay, so that's what it is. So that's the damage you get at a level 9 shockwave, which is pretty good. Because the other thing they changed is they made it so when we land the clock just by itself, it does damage. So now basically what they're telling you is they're rewarding players for actually aiming and landing their hit, right? Instead of just landing near and landing the shockwave. And the shockwave is a little small. Maybe it's been a while since I played Aizawa. I think they reduced the shockwave area of effects, so that could be also something. I might have missed that in Season 3, but yeah, so they nerfed Aizawa, but they're also rewarding players that actually have good aim and land their stuff right there. So I think that's a fine change. All right, what they did to Dabi is they made, this is a crazy change. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's kind of cool. It definitely gives Dabi players more flexibility, and it doesn't make it feel like you're always getting jumped on and you have no way of doing anything. So what they did is they changed his special action name, which isn't a crazy thing. Well, they changed his name, and they made it so he can actually self-revive. So hopefully Bakugo actually lands his stuff. So my special action is up here. And I'm not sure if this is a thing, but I'm going to wait to see if he's hitting me, if I can use my special action. So when I use it, I'm going to self-revive Bakugo. Yeah, it looks like my special action is always available, and I can use it, and I can just get out. I'm not sure it's because it's training. Maybe I can just use it. But if it's like any other special action, usually what happens is you can't actually use it while you're getting hit, right? So, I mean, that was the action beforehand, the old Dabi. So maybe they just changed it completely. But it is now a self-revive. This is a huge buff for Dabi players. I mean, it's insane. So I'm happy for Dabi players. And personally, you know, since I have a bunch of this costume, maybe I'll go play him a lot more than I do right now. All right, for Twice, there is a huge list of things we can talk about. So first off, with his alpha, they've reduced the damage at all levels. So I remember people were telling me his alpha got buffed, but they reduced the damage at all levels. So now it's probably a little less. I don't know what it was before. I didn't play Twice during the buff. So you guys gotta let me know if it's, obviously I think it's good. A lot of people were complaining that he was like overtuned or whatnot, so I'm not sure. They also reduced the damage for the aerial attack, which is interesting. They obviously knew a lot of people were mostly meleeing with Twice, so they reduced the damage of the aerial melee attack. But most of the time, I was using this first melee attack right here, so I don't think it's too much of an issue. So there's that. For his beta, they decreased the clone survival time at all levels, so this will not stay out for a longer time now. It will be for a shorter time. What that time is, I don't know. You could be counting right now and we'll see. But this is obviously a level 9. The other thing they did to it is changed so that the level of quirk skill used by clones increases at level 4 in 9. I'm not sure what that was, but I guess they increased the attack size, reload speed, and clone skill level up at level 4 and 9. I don't know what it was before. I always thought it was level 4 and 9, but maybe it wasn't. So I guess that's something you guys can correct me again. The clone died right there. We could also see the level 1 clone real quick. Look at this. Start counting. They also changed it so that the clone receives the follow-up effect of the opponent's attack. I'm not sure what that means. I guess the follow-up of the effects of the opponent's attack. Maybe Todoroki burn, Endeavor burn, something like that. Shigi decay. I don't know. That's pretty short. I mean, that feels... I realized that was not level 1, that was level 9, but that level 9 felt pretty short. So let's see the level 1 real quick. I'm not sure what that last change means. I'm assuming... Yeah, that's pretty dang short, bro. I mean, it's not even reloaded halfway yet, so... That's a pretty big nerf. I think that's a pretty big nerf. Talking about his Gamma, they changed it so that measures follow the opponent. I'm assuming that just means it's going to be better at following the opponent. So maybe... I'm not really sure, man. I wish I played Twice more, but maybe it's just better tracking on the Gamma. That's what I'm assuming it's talking about. They also adjusted it to make it easier to hit attacks after move with a measure. So a lot of the combos I was doing earlier were Twice, where I would go like boom, boom, and then like Gamma, Beta. Oh, that followed him real nice, actually. Oh, you can see that. Hold up. You can't. I forgot the combos I do, but that was really good follow-up. That tracked really well. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to recreate it. Let's go ahead and let's do the Beta Gamma combo. Oh yeah, that tracks really well. I don't even think I was aimed properly on there. Okay, so Gamma Fix pretty good. I'm glad they did that. It was really hard to land those in my opinion. I would never use them to actually attack the opponent. So that is everything that happened with Twice. For his special action, they changed it so that the generated clone of the opponent uses the quirks A, B, and Gamma. So I guess before they were only using a certain amount of skills, and now they're using all their skills so they can use their Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. So I'm not really sure. I thought they always did, but maybe not. They also set the number of opponent clones that can exist at the same time to 6. So before, I think it was endless. Now you can only have up to 6 clones created by your special action. And that's still a lot. I don't think you need more than that. But obviously, it's not as fun. So I'm a little disappointed they did that. They also changed so that if there are more than 6 clones, the oldest clone will disappear. So if you want to trade out your first clone, like you maybe got a Kendo and you don't want a Kendo, and you see an Aizawa, you want the Aizawa, you can obviously trade that out. But if you have 6, you can just keep 6. But I think you should take it if you do, because maybe the first clone obviously might be not as healthy as the newest clone. So that's all the things they did with Twice. Huge changes for him. I still think he'll be annoying to deal with. I think his alpha still does pretty good damage at level 9, we saw earlier. Level 1, that's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. The real change is the beta duration being up, and that's going to hurt him a lot, right? Alright, for Compressed, they also gave him the Dabi treatment. They changed the name of his special action as well as just how it works. Well, not how it works. They just added to it. We can now revive teammates that have gone down with our special action. So you might have saw this in my Shiggy video this morning, but if you want to, you can go near your opponents. So maybe you gamma over to them or you just walk over to them. You can swoop them up with your special action, and then you can gamma away or run away, and then you have to press your special action one more time, just how you would before if your teammate wants out. I don't know if your teammate can force themselves out. I didn't try it when I got rezzed earlier, and someone's just gonna have to tell me. But they would just press it again, they'd come out of the marble, and then they'd be revived. So this is something we wanted from Compressed since like season 1 or 2, man, and I'm glad they did it. Compressed is definitely gonna be more of a team player now, and I absolutely love it because he's, you know, on the same level as Froppy, Cementos, and all of them, right? He is a very annoying character, especially if he gets his level 9 trucks. And now that he has a self-revive, it's going to be pretty nice. It's going to be pretty fun. Alright, last but not least, Mountain Lady. They adjusted her beta to make it easier for the opponent to be blown away. So I think this was similar to Denki's thing. Now, if we actually just use all 3, nothing really happens. I personally thought it was gonna change to where 2 kicks just make him blown away, kind of go into that invulnerable state with the whiteout. But it's not the case. I imagine, though, if I am doing the stomps, what's going to happen is if teammates or other things are happening. So if I like do this, then I do my alpha, and I do this again, he gets blown back, right? So you can't get caught in that Mountain Lady combo anymore, but you can still obviously get caught by that little thing right there. But you can see the Mountain Lady combo is no longer a thing anymore. She's still very, very powerful. I mean, you saw in that Shiggy video if you watched it, she can still do crazy damage, but you're most likely going to want to do alpha first when you're coming down. So the new combo is going to be like alpha, and then stomp one more time, or just continuing to do alphas because that stomp isn't going to do crazy damage. But that is it. So I'm happy about this because that stun combo that Mountain Lady could do was pretty annoying when I would get hit by it, and it was pretty crazy. But it is insane that they nerfed Mountain Lady when her best skin came out, which is pretty unfortunate. She's still good, don't worry, she's still good. You just can't really cheese with her anymore with this stomp combo. It's gonna look more like this and it falls out. So that's very good, I'm happy with this change. Mountain Lady mains, let me know if it's gonna destroy your gameplay. If you can't do anything else, I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure you're fine. But let me know. Guys, that is all the major patch notes for the characters that I can find. A couple things, if you want to read them yourself, I'll put the link in the description for the patch notes. They're just certain bug fixes that aren't really anything too crazy. I guess they did for consoles, for Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. They adjusted the aim assist, but I don't play on console, so console players, let me know what that's like. I guess they went back to the old version, and maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, I don't know. But other than that, guys, have a great one. Sorry for yapping through a lot of these. I'll see you guys later. Bye.